Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video about the CCV filter. When I ran into this, I wasn't 100% sure what's the best setup because there's three ways you could go. Leave it stock. So let me show you. Pretty much that's your outlet, and it goes right into the turbo. On the stock setup's down there, and you'll see mine is blocked off right here. So stock runs from here, stock tube down there. And that's one. Second one is you'll see guys throw a little 90 and put a little filter. I call them little Honda Civic valve cover filters, but it's just a generic little filter. That's an incorrect one. In my honest opinion, I think that's an incorrect system. And then you got guys like me that run a old school tube from there all the way down. Well guys, here's the catch. There's a right way and wrong way of doing this. The wrong way is two ways you could do this wrong. You see how I have it hooked up? The wrong way would do it is to leave the filter in there, the filter media. If you leave it in there, it creates a slight a pressure in the system. So I highly recommend do what I did, but it's a real pain in the neck, guys, to do this. So pretty much what you do is pop this guy off, and there's a filter there. You pull it off, flip it upside down. The main frame of the filter, you got to preserve it, and everything else you got to gut it out. It took me 2 hours, guys. I hated it. I hate the process of it. So what I'm doing on other trucks is I'm just running the stock setup, throwing this filter every 60,000 miles and running this. I'm going to slowly go at it one at a time, but it's going to take quite some time. So proper way to do it, if you're leaving your filter in there and you don't want to gut it out like I've done it, leave the filter in there and just run the stock setup. That's the safest. Well, it's not the safest. It's the easiest way to just leave it the way it is. Now, don't do the whole 90 with the filter media in there, because you're creating the crank pressure. I mean, your rings, they have a little bit of blow-by. No matter how good of an engine you have, you're still gonna have a little bit of blow-by. And you're creating pressure, and it's gonna put a toll on the seals. So what you want to do, ideally, perfect world, is take that filter out, gut it, clean it real nice, put that body back on because it works as a cap up here. Put this back on and run a hose like I did. I just took my hose and ran it down there, as you can see, and over here, and it was hanging out. As you can see, that little oil spot right here for a little while. You see that little rusty mark? That's where the hose was dangling. I had it zip tied. And I figured, hell, why not? I could fit it in that hole there in the frame. Frame has other holes, so vents. And I mean, it's not really much. You don't really see it puffing or anything like that. But obviously, it's been that way for a couple months. And that greasy spot proves that, you know, hey, they, who the heck? Why the heck's this screw not tightened? And it proves that it breathes there, you know, so that's the ideal world. Now, as I said, if you're going to put a 90 there, don't do it. You can do it with the deleted filter, but it's going to cause a little mess. So don't do that 90. I highly advise you not to do it. So if you're lazy, like I'm running most of my trucks, just have the stock set up. You get some time, do the hose that I did. But don't leave the stock media without the suction port, because it's hooked up to the turbo, and when you're running the engine at higher RPM, you're building boost. Therefore, it's creating suction, you know, because it's going from here to there. And it's pulling, you know, there's a draft there, and there's a slight suction in it, and it could pull it through the media and suck the hot air, you know, what it was intended for. Now, if you leave just the filter in there and you don't have any suction on this end, it really has to create a lot of pressure to blow it. It's not that much pressure, but it's still, you know, works the seals, puts strain on the seals. So, long story short, moral of the story: either leave a stock and change out your filters, gut out your filter, and run a hose like that. So, I couldn't say it any more better. All right, have a mighty fine day. Like always, enjoy your weekend.